Welcome to another edition of the Solopreneur Movement podcast. My name is Dr. Bruce. I'm the founder and director of 90 Day Sales Manager, and of course, the host of the Solopreneur Movement. A solopreneur is any individual salesperson who is solely in charge of their sales, their service, their marketing, and all of this, of course, as a mindset. I have a special topic for us today. We're going to talk about competitive advantage. What do I get from you that I can't get from anybody else? And then do you have a contagious confidence to go out there and share it with the world? All right, my friends, let's talk through competitive advantage. What is a competitive advantage for you and your business? And I just give it a very basic definition, right? Anything that gives you an edge over your competition, to me, is a competitive advantage. And most of the people that I coach work in housing, banking, insurance, and financial services. All of those industries, all of those sectors have high compliance, are very regulated as far as what they can or cannot do. Now, because of that, it means your competitive advantage a lot of times is more important than ever before because there's so many things that you guys are all doing similarly, right? It's basically like saying like, hey, there's really only so many ways that you can bake a cake. But how are you marketing that cake? You know, how are there certain ingredients within that cake that maybe stand out or taste a little bit different? So I know it's kind of a dumb analogy, but that's what we're talking about when it comes to your competitive advantage. You know, you have the premium brands and then you have the generic brands. And guys, at the end of the day, price isn't always better. Price isn't always best. The lowest price is not always the best, okay? So we're going to talk about really 4 areas that I think that you can differentiate, or I guess I should say would be your competitive advantage, okay? Number 1 would just be your actual service. At the end of the day, there are baseline foundational fundamentals of any service expectations, right? I go to a restaurant, I expect a certain baseline foundation functional service when I go to any kind of restaurant, right? So you have to clearly define what that means. So to me, I just look at that as number 1, you know, for us in housing, banking, insurance, finance, would be the product knowledge. Do you have a product knowledge of your exact industries, right? I mean, can you sit down with somebody and be able to go through the dot the I's and cross the T's and be able to clearly articulate and define certain words, right? You have product knowledge, whether it's baseline knowledge all the way up to more advanced knowledge, okay? Number 2 is communication. Are you clear and concise and prompt in your communication? All right. Number 3 then would be managing emotions, managing your emotions and managing client emotions. Because at the end of the day, all the industries that I coach in can be very, very emotional, right? If I get in a car accident tomorrow, I have to call my insurance agent. I'm emotional. If I'm trying to get into a home and something falls apart at the end of the deal, that's emotional, right? If I have something that happens within my personal life, my financial advisor, I have to call them. That's personal, right? It's very emotional. So for all of you, number 1 is just the very basic. You have to define what are the foundational fundamentals for service that are non-negotiables for us, okay? And then maybe you get more into the more advanced stuff, which kind of, to me, goes into your differential advantages then, all right? So number 2 would be, when it comes to your competitive advantages, what is your differential advantage? I believe, there are riches in the niches. I believe in commoditized industries, right? You must have niche products and services. So we can do pretty much all these other things that everybody else does, but there's really 1 or 2 things that make us world-class, that make us better than anybody else that is out there. And you have to have a contagious confidence about the fact that you're just as good, if not better than anybody else out there. When you sit down with somebody, can you clearly articulate on the front end, this is what really separates us, our products and our services. These are our core values, right? This is what I believe. This is why I believe it. This is why I do what I do because of my past and struggles and experiences and mentors, okay? So what is your differential advantage? It could be the fact that you have superior knowledge. It could be the fact that you have superior skill sets like empathy towards other or communication, right? Or it could be the fact that you are super confident, right? And other people feel better when they're with you. So these are all differential advantages, but I would just say building out your differential advantage starts with number 1. Have you clearly identified the exact type of people that you want to do business with? Another way to think about this, have you clearly identified the exact marketing that you want to build your messaging around to attract the right people into your life? So you can say, oh my gosh, out of all the people that I work with, this is like, I'm in my fun zone here. I feel like I'm an industry expert in this one little area. I can overcome imposter area in this one little area by coaching these exact type of people. Okay. The second question I would ask is, what problems are you solving for those people? because now you can build your marketing around that, right? You can have the pain versus the potential. The potential is, oh my gosh, this is the reward. This is the outcome that you're going to get by the end of all this. But guys, at the end of the day, a lot of people rely on the pain points. So if you can identify, these are the pain points that I'm seeing for the exact type of clients that I like to work with. And then again, you can build your marketing around that right now. All right. And then again, goes back into, you can clearly articulate your differential advantage. Okay. So that's part number 2 of your competitive advantage. Part number 3, it is the price. All right. So at the end of the day, I don't want you to be rock bottom lowest. If you are, but you still have great products and services, more power to you. But for the most part, what I have found is you want to be somewhere in the middle, right? We're very competitive in our pricing. We're not the highest. We're not the lowest. We're not the cheapest. And what I have found in my life, typically cheapest isn't the best. All right. So we are competitive. And because we are competitive now, you're going to get this, this, and this from us. So you want to shift to value, right? It's an outcomes-based way of going out there and pitching your products and your services. Guys, at the end of the day, if you're consistently trying to race to the bottom for your price and you're probably attracting high maintenance clients. You're attracting other people who only care about price. And that's going to be a challenge for you. Okay. We want to live somewhere in the middle where we're not the highest, but we're definitely not the cheapest. And because of that, we can offer that unique value. And we can really deliver on that outcomes-based approach to us going out there and selling. So do a market analysis on the different prices of other people that are out there. And I bet you will find you are very competitive in your markets, okay? The 4th part of this then is the actual brand reputation and your relationships. I love the Mother Teresa poem, Do Good Anyways. And in that poem, it says, what takes years to build can be destroyed overnight, but build it anyways. And that's what I think about with your brand reputation, is it does take years of consistency and discipline and going out there, and every day with your current client is an interview for your next client. Every day with your current referral partner is an interview for your next referral partner. All right. So I want you all to see yourself as people of influence and understand that, you know what, it's not just one deal, it's a lifetime of that deal. Every one deal could be worth 5.7 additional deals. People use the first person they talk to 67% of the time. That is brand reputation, and that is brand, your relationships with your referral partners. Okay. So what are you doing to be a community leader in your markets? How are you building strong referral partners? Referral partners for life. Okay. Do you have a great landing page with all the social proof of the people and the client testimonials of the people who love working with you? So these are the 4 components that I believe anybody can sit down with today and start to articulate their competitive advantage. Number 1 is just the foundational baseline, basic expectations for your services. Okay. Number 2 would be taking that a step further. Okay, we have the baselines down, but what really separates us? What really differentiates us? What makes us world-class? What are the 1 or 2 things that makes us a must-have or a nice-to-have? And then who are the exact type of clients that we want to go out there and market towards? What problems do we solve? Number 3 is the price point. How do we overcome, or how do we handle the price objection? You know what? You might be shopping right now. You might be looking at XYZ company. They're really great. Okay, but we're just as great as them, and we do things just like this, this, and this. This is what makes us different. And by the way, we're super competitive with our pricing. Okay, we're not the lowest, but we're not the most expensive. All right, so if you're only looking for the lowest rate, the lowest fee, the lowest whatever it might be, I might not be your person, because lowest doesn't mean best. From my experience, that is often the case. Okay, and then part number 4, what are you doing to go out there and consistently build your brand reputation? And once you do all of this, you're going to start to build a contagious confidence. A contagious confidence is where you have a little bit of swag, right? You have that charisma. You can't wait to go talk to new people. You can't wait to get new people on your calendar. You can't wait to go attend events because you know you're really good at what you do. Don't confuse swag with arrogance, okay? This is just, you know what? If I get in a conversation with somebody, I can clearly articulate my differential advantage. I can clearly overcome that pricing objection. I can share with them the very baseline things that they should expect for anybody in my industry. And then, of course, social proof of all the different people just like them that you've helped through your products and your services. As always, if you're looking for coaching, we are starting our next coaching group. Q number 3 is coming up in July. That is currently open for registration. If you go to 90daysales.com and go to boot camp, then you will be able to go sign up for that program. Right now, we do have limited seating for that for loan officers that are out there. So as always, guys, and we also have our CRM. So go to 90daysales.com and you'll see our CRM that has the only built-in software with accountability that is out there. So thank you so much. Continue to go out there and make a difference. Stay motivated, especially when others are not in these challenging markets.